First of all, I would like to tell you that we meet again after 30 years with Mr. Olmert, because we had been both mayors of Jerusalem and Athens when we met for the very first time. And I'm following his path in Israeli politics, and I can tell you, although I don't vote in Israel, that he has been one of the best prime ministers. And if Mr. Olmert had been in this post a bit longer, what we live today would have been avoided. Let me make a comment on that, because he was very clear in describing, in depicting the situation within Israel, because this is something that we miss in the rest of the world. The public opinion right now in Israel, gave some figures before, does not agree with the policy adopted by Mr. Netanyahu. And here we have to make a distinction between Mr. Netanyahu and Israel. First of all, let me be clear. We are all supporting and standing by Israel in his non-negotiable aim and purpose to exist. But there is also another explanation of what happened in the year 2023. Yes, I understand all these criminals have to be punished because they committed awful and appalling crimes. But you cannot take revenge against the whole people, the whole society of the Palestinians. Now the public opinion and the international public opinion somehow is not standing by Israel. But we have to make this distinction. I believe that the solution there cannot be but one. The government to decide to change course. Second, to admit and accept that this two-states solution is the only one, as it has been adopted by most of the European countries, and including, I believe, the Greek side. So there is a problem. But let me tell you something more. We talk about Eastern Mediterranean. Eastern Mediterranean was always the crossroads of trade, of commerce, of everything, of ideas, of civilizations, but always a crossroads of conflicts. And nowadays there are two issues still pending in the region. The first is the Palestinians, the Gaza problem. The second is the Cyprus issue. I'm following the Cyprus issue as you understand. I'm a Greek, but at the same time I've been Minister of Foreign Affairs and European Commissioner. We believe that only a united Cyprus can contribute in peace building around the area. Why? Let me be very clear, because I have to be practical. Forget all about the historical and emotional aspects of this issue. If the Cyprus issue is resolved, in other words, if Cyprus is united, the main issue in Eastern Mediterranean, which is the delimitation of the maritime zones, will be solved with a positive domino effect. Why? Cyprus, as an independent state, can immediately delimitate EEZ with all neighboring countries, including EEZ with Greece. We have not adopted it so far. But as an independent state, can delimitate EEZ with Turkey. And then the next step would be delimitation EEZ beyond Castellorizo between Turkey and Greece. So this will be the key also for the Greek-Turkish relations. And it is in the interest of everybody, of the West, of NATO, of Europe. Everybody wants to see this part of the Mediterranean Sea to enter in a new zone of stability, because this will allow, first of all, to adopt common policies on sea lines. Now they are disrupted because of what's happening in the region. The second, to do something on energy, because this is at the epicenter of the energy routes in the region. And this will provide not only with stability, with peaceful relations, and something that will be a case study for the historians of the future. How an area of conflict can change and become an area of stability, cooperation, and peace. So I believe that these two issues have to be resolved, and this is the duty of the international community. But where is the international community? Unfortunately, multilateralism is going down nowadays. Where is United Nations? United Nations do not have the power they had after the Second World War. And who are the global stakeholders? In this part, in this neighborhood of the world, they meet each other. United States, NATO, Europe, even China is present there. So let's be very, very careful. If we really want to contribute in finding a solution, first to be more pragmatic. And coming back to the initial question you asked me, I believe one of the keys is not only the Cyprus issue, but also the Gaza issue. And I believe that what Mr. Olmert said before is shedding light on the reality on the ground. That policy has to change there, Everybody has to acknowledge the right of Israel in its existence, and we are standing by Israel. We are friends of Israel, and we shall never stop being friends of Israel. But Israel is losing credit in the eyes of the international opinion, global opinion right now. So by changing all the things, I believe we can find a solution. It is up to the leaders, and we need strong and bold leaders. And now I finish with one remark. What is leadership? Leadership is not to wait and expect to be uploaded in real time, but what your decisions and your thoughts will be in the long run, in the future, assessed by the younger generations. What we shall leave behind? What's the legacy of today's leadership? Do we have strong leadership? It's up to the people to decide who are the ones that will pave the way for a peaceful world. But Europe right now is very weak. I've been commissioner. I was there for 5 years, responsible not only for migration, but also for security, for counter-terrorism on behalf of the European Union. And I was at the same time chief negotiator of the European Union in our talks with the United States on counter-terrorism. So I can tell you that my experience tells me that we have to do more. But where is the European leadership? At the national or at the European level? Compare Europe as it was 10 years ago and where it is now. Nobody is taking Europe very seriously into consideration. Only rhetorics, good wishes, and nothing. So Europe weak, United Nations weak, the global public opinion is questioning the policy of today, and the question is, the most important, where are we heading to? Are we going to enter in a new zone of historical turbulences? Because yes, it is true that the whole world is getting reshaped, and the basic standards and the norms upon which the world was built after the Second World War is at stake. Let's start from the Mediterranean to see how can we build a better world.